Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new playthrough of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Those of you who've been following the channel for a while now may be surprised to see any video at all from me. I don't think I've played Crawl for almost 6 months. Well, we can get into that later. And I've done a bit of Invisible Ink in the meantime, but it's been a while since I recorded. It's a lot more work than it is to relax and, well, anyway. I thought I'd come back. I've been itching to play some Crawl, and hey, why not record it, right? So we're going to be playing on 0.20, the latest release. Not playing on Trunk, because I sort of have like a game lying around on Trunk that I might get back to sometime. And the tournament just ended, so 0.20 is still quite fresh. So anyway, let's get started. There you go. Hello? Click. P. There we go. What are we going to play? I have not really put any thought into this. I briefly considered whether I wanted to play a random character or a viable character or like pick something easy, because like I have not played a lot of Crawl, and if I started out with like Mummy Monk, I'm sure I would do quite poorly. And so it's sort of tempting to say, oh, let's just play a Minotaur Berserker. It'll be easy. But I don't know. So let's just hit random and see if anything inspires me. A Minotaur Abyssal Knight. That's probably quite strong. But I'm not really in the mood for another crazy Minotaur game. Octopode Assassin, a little bit too hard, really, and not that fun. None of these are that interesting. Ghoul Venom Mage is probably not terrible. Naga Artificer? Formicid Monk? It's the second time it suggested Spriggan Scald. I don't know. I don't really want to do this random nonsense. Let's put a little more thought into things here. What have I not? Well, so I haven't played Barachi. Barachi? I don't know. They're frogs. I think they were added after the last video I recorded. Not like immediately after as a consequence of, but since the last time I uploaded, there's a new species you can play as like frogs. I don't know. What appeals to me? I don't want to play anything too complicated. Maybe let's go for like I mean, Octopode Transmuter is fun, but not actually good. I kind of like Necromancers. What if I Deep Dwarf? Have I ever played a Deep Dwarf Necromancer? I don't think I have. Wait, of course I have. I meant Deep Elf. Have I ever played a Deep Elf Necromancer? I haven't. Well, let's give it a try. They're like not amazing. Actually, Necromancy is one of the things they're best at. I didn't realize. Alright. Well, so here we are in the game. Let's just go. Oh, jeez. Deep Elf aptitudes are nuts. Look at this. Plus, we're at like level 5 already. That just doesn't happen when you pick a spellcasting background normally, that your skills are this high. Deep Elves have really, really good aptitudes for this. So that setting is all fine. What else do I need to customize? Nothing much, I think. Alright, let's get started. So, yeah, I don't want to fight 2 monsters at once yet, if I can help it. I also don't want to find a hobgoblin. Alright, well, that's life. So I almost mentioned... oh, I forgot. We should learn Animate Skeleton. And good. Put it on K for me. I did play a game a couple of days ago. Since the tournament was going on, I was like, hey, it'll be fun. Let's see if I can try to get 1 win for the tournament. I just didn't have time to finish it before the tournament was over. But I finished it like 12 hours into the tournament, or past the end of the tournament, I think, roughly. So, you know, I would have had a 100% win rate in the tournament. I started 1 game, and although I didn't finish any, I did win 1 game. Man, this is horrible. Like, this is just a bad place. I'm gonna be dead in a second here. Yeah. It's a bit rough having 10 HP and the only way to deal damage to things is pain. I think we're going to be dead soon. I really just have no way to escape at all. I suppose I could try a random scroll / potion, huh? Which of those is more likely to save me somehow? Probably the potion, right? Well, okay, so the potion, I think, is more likely to save me because it could be like heal wounds or something. Or, I don't know. What else saves me? Haste, maybe? But the scroll could be teleportation, in which case I would rather read it now while I still have some space between me and the monsters than next turn when I've failed the potion. So although I think the potion is more likely to work right away, the scroll is a worse fallback option, whereas the potion is still an okay fallback option. Like heal wounds is still good next turn, right? So I'm going to try the scroll first. It was identify. Well, that's another way that we can have saved a turn. We find out that the potion was no good. So there's really nothing we can do at this stage, right? If I try to run away, the ball python will corner me. If I cast pain, it will kill me. If I tab, that's really the only way I can survive, although very, very unlikely to survive that way. So, I mean, is there anything I can do besides tab? Like, not really, right? I could try the potion of mutation, right? What could I possibly mutate that would help here? I can't think of anything. I mean, sure, I could mutate, like, 3 levels of quick regen or something. Can you even get that anymore? I don't know. Even that would probably be no good. Teleportitis that happens to trigger, like, I don't know. There are some edge cases. But, so the problem is, even if I do survive, if I, like, tab the ooze and manage to kill it somehow, the ball python will still be cornering me, and it's fast. So, even if I try to run away, the ball python will catch me. So if I'm going to tab something, it has to be the ball python. Alright, we're dead. Well, that was an exciting first game. Yeah, well, there you go. There goes my streak. As I said, I did play one game in the tournament, and I won it. So that was a streak game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Well. Let's play like a Draconian. They're fun. I don't know, Draconian Conjurers? Fine. Sure. Okay, so let's try something a bit more... Boy, Deep Elf and Necromancer. Maybe that's a problem with them, is that, like, one of the ways that Deep Elf is particularly... I shouldn't say that Deep Elf is strong. What I mean to say is that one of the advantages that Deep Elf has as a spellcasting... as a race with which to play a spellcasting background is that they have a huge pool of MP. And that's great, but something I did not take into consideration is that as a Necromancer, your HP is also a limiting factor because pain costs health. I don't want this leopard gecko to see me, so I was hoping to be able to, like, kill this guy. Ugh. Anyway, so all that to say that are lizards not fast? I guess they're not. Okay. Necromancer may be a particularly bad start for Deep Elves, perhaps. I'm not sure. Certainly we saw one way in which it was not as good as it could have been. This is terrible. At least I have Draconian armor and tail slapping. Yeah, so that's another way, of course, that Deep Elf are particularly weak, is in the early game when you might actually have to melee things and not be prepared for it. At least other races have a bit better a chance. But, I mean, I also Like, I brought that on myself in some ways. Of course, always you brought it on yourself, right? That's the point. But, like, for example, I didn't think to memorize animate skeleton right away, and when I killed that goblin, I did not make a skeleton out of it right away. I did it later, like, and I think it was during combat, right? So that was quite a poor choice that, it easily could have turned the tide, I think. I think I also did some poor line of sight management, maybe. Like, I don't think I should have been in a situation where I was fighting so many monsters at once. It was definitely a rough setup, to be sure. Being, having the entry vault in the middle of all those monsters and no safe places to run to or pillar dance yet. But I think that there were a number of things that I didn't do as well as I could have. I guess I might as well grab a dagger, right? Or a spear? Yeah, dagger, I guess. So I don't know. I mentioned this just because, like, it felt... It may have looked like, oh, geez, nothing I could have done there. Easy to write that one off as, like, just a random unlucky death. And, like, certainly it was random, and it was unlucky. But was it unpreventable? Hard to say. It certainly seems like there were things I could have done to try to prevent it that I didn't do. And maybe they would have worked, maybe they wouldn't. Scarf. So that's something they added since the last game you guys watched, I think. Let's grab this and run away from all these goblins. They're new pieces of armor that replace cloak. So you can wear a scarf or a cloak, but not both. Scarves never have any armor, but they have sort of better, more interesting ego possibilities. So this is a scarf of repel missile. They took away the spell, repel missiles. It never really quite fit in with the charm mechanic, and there were a few attempts made to fix it. But I think it works pretty well as a scarf. Better than it ever really did as a spell. Yeah, we'll take some intelligence. We're a conjurer. Should be fine. And dazzling spray is a good spell. I'll take it. So, anyway, as you guys may be aware, I haven't recorded, and I mentioned this at the beginning, I haven't recorded any crawl for quite some time, and it's just because, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I just have felt a lot more tired. I got a new job, and there's just, I don't know, I've wanted to do more relaxing and less working when I get home. And recording crawl is... both playing crawl and recording videos are fun, but they also are work. Like, it's definitely a lot less relaxing to do this than it is to, play Hearthstone or some platformer. Even a game that requires a lot of work, like Dust Force, which I picked up somewhat recently. It's hard, but when I'm playing for myself, I can just put the controller down whenever I feel like it, take a break, or I can have a movie going on or whatever, and pause whichever one whenever I feel like it to look at the other. And like when you're recording, you kind of have to set off a dedicated chunk of time. And likewise, crawl requires a lot of investment to like stay current in what your character is up to make sure you don't do something stupid and die. So I just, those things together, I have not really wanted to play that much crawl or wanted to record very much. And so as a result, I have not done those things. But I recently wanted to play some crawl, and I did, and it was fun, so I was like, hey, let's try recording a game as well. So I don't really think I'm going to be doing what I did before, which is like upload one video every day We get everything? But, I don't know, I'd like to at least finish this game, maybe uploading one episode every couple days or something like that. That gives me more, more flexibility, in that, like, it allows for the fact that I won't want to play every single day. And as a result, maybe I will actually get this all uploaded. And oh, I'm a draconian. That's why I can't wear leather armor. I still thought I was a deep elf. Shouldn't have used magic dart on this guy actually. What I should do is use searing ray. Drop the leather armor, please. Anyway, so having a somewhat less tight schedule will hopefully give me the time to record when I want to without getting too burned out on the whole thing and giving up partway through. Fedhas, huh? Fedhas is a good god, but I don't know. I've played enough Fedhas, you know, recently, in quotes. Of course, none of it is terribly recent. The game that I have going on Trunk actually is a Deep Dwarf something or other of Fedhas, I think. Which I realized after I picked him. Well, at first I was like, oh, Fedhas, a very strong god. Yes, please, I will take him. And then I was like, oh, now I'm a Deep Dwarf without a god who gives me any healing. This should be quite exciting. Anyway, but what I'm getting at is that the character that I have lying around on Trunk that I might get to at some point is already a Fedhas. And, like, I don't know, Fedhas requires a lot of maintenance of everything, you know? So I don't think I want another Fedhas game anytime soon. Let's see if we can roll high on this. Yeah, got him. What is this? Arrows. I mean, of course, Dungeon 2 is like, you know what? Let's not risk using the whip. The dagger's fine. Getting something not cursed is just good enough. You have to settle sometimes. Anyway, so Dungeon 2 Fedhas is like that's a pretty good way to win a game, really, or to at least enable yourself to win a game by surviving the early game. But I just am not really feeling into that. The character I played in the tournament, or you know, that I started in the tournament was a Vine Stalker Gladiator. Picked up Trog on, like, I don't know, Dungeon 3 or 4, very early. And it took me a while to get a decent weapon, but, you know, with Trog, you're always guaranteed one eventually, pretty much. And then it was, like, really good. And I also had, like, I used Acquirement and got, like, a plus 13 crystal plate armor on my third try with Acquirement, which is like, wow, you got 3 tries, really. But anyway, so it was a remarkably easy game. There were 1 or 2 moments where I played badly enough that I was in some danger of dying. But overall, it was a very lucky set of dungeon thingies. The set of drops, you know, randomness in the game. It was all very lucky, and I remarked that this would be the kind of game that someone could get their first win with. And, you know, for me it was very little trouble to put it away, except, as I said, for the 1 or 2 moments when hubris let me put myself in danger. I think we're about done with Dungeon 2, right? Yeah, looks good. I guess I'll just let Auto Explore clean it up. And we have some scrolls to identify, so let's do that. Noise, okay. Well, nice to have that gotten rid of. Fog is good to know about. Identify, sure. Potion of Might, not bad. Amnesia. Asia. So, is it time to switch from training pure conjurations into anything else yet? IMB is like... I haven't actually looked too closely at the new Conjurer spellbook since they took out Battlesphere. I guess all they did was take out Battlesphere and put in Force Lance, but I hadn't looked too closely at how that changed things. It's kind of interesting how now there are 3 level 4 choices, and they're all like sort of a different direction for your character, right, in terms of what secondary skill you need to train. Fulminant Prism is, of course, very powerful when it hits. I don't really care for IMB that much. Like, it's okay, but I feel like... usually if I need to pour that much damage into something that quickly, I'm better off not engaging with it. And like Searing Ray is fine for things I need to do damage to somewhat slowly. So, I don't know. I kind of would like to go for Fulminant Prism. It's a fun one to hit monsters with and to be like, haha, I tricked the monsters into standing in the thing. I don't know that it's particularly strong, but it probably can be. Terrence. Well, he has garbage equipment, so that's something we got going for us, I guess. But we're going to be leaving him alone as much as possible. There's Egypt, okay, with a wand, of course. At least it's a wand of flame and not a wand of acid or something. So, a difficult journey to Dungeon 3, I would say. Dungeon 2 was a piece of cake. I forget how D1 was. It like wasn't that bad, right? What is this all about? Somebody's temple, maybe? Or not temple, altar? Let me in, I want all the gold. Here comes Terrence again. Well, I'll see you later. And Egypt. Alright, see you guys. We're running out of staircases, I must say. Let's take this one now. I would hate to have to skip all of D3. That would put me in a pretty tough spot. Oh, we were looking at whether I should like train spellcasting to get more MP. I think that's probably a sound choice. At least a point or so. You know, training more conjurations is certainly giving us more killing power, but a little bit more staying power would be good too. A Livalon, huh? What are my aptitudes like? +1 invocations, huh? Well, I mean, with a Livalon, you can like switch to Zin or TSO if you want. What are all the gods in this game? Ashanzari, Ru, Vehemet, probably not Kybriados, Makleb, maybe Sif. Dithmenos is probably fine for Conjurer. Hepiokalkana is great. I don't think I like going for the Trinity on this sort of character. That's my opinion. I say the Trinity because it's really not a Livalon, right? It's... Boy, this is way too many goblins. It looks like Robin might be around or something. Anyway, I say the Trinity because you're really going not just for a Livalon, but for like all 3 of the good gods, because they don't mind if you swap around between them. You lose a little bit of piety, but it's not a big deal to switch a few times throughout the course of the game. So if you see like a TSO altar, for example, you should think about like, would I like to go a Livalon? And vice versa, of course. Because you will be able to switch, and if you will want to switch, you should start gaining piety early. Even though you won't be, like, you lose half of your piety when you switch, so any piety you get with TSO is sort of like only half piety with a Livalon, but it's better than no piety if you're planning to take a level on anyway. So anyway, when I see one of those threes altars, I like to think about how all three of them would be for my character. So here we have, I mean, Nemelex is probably not as bad as he used to be, but he overlaps a lot with our Conjurations abilities. Oh, it's 3. We got Kybriotis as well. But I think Hepliakal Kana is the clear winner here. And a perfectly fine god to take. Kybriotis is okay, but I had some bad experiences with Kybriotis recently. And one of the main benefits of Kybriotis is that you get to wear heavy armor and, like, do a bunch of melee and a bunch of conjuring, so you get all these crazy stats. And as a Draconian, we can't wear body armor and therefore do not benefit so much from the stats. Nemelex, again, like many of his cards, are conjuration-like effects, and I'm not keen on just adding more to that dimension of my character. Whereas Hepliakal Kana, you can get, like, you get an ally who, like, is great for you as a conjurer, I think. Great for really any character. Let's go ahead and take Hepliakal Kana. And we lose 10% HP. Kinda stinks. Demetyrus? Really? It's a weird way to spell Demetrius. I mean, I assume that that's on purpose. We gotta name this something interesting. I didn't have a plan for this coming in. I didn't know I was gonna go Hepliakal Kana. Name it something like from Invisible Ink, maybe? We'll just call it International for now. Ancestor identity. There we go. Great. Yes, International is definitely a better name. Okay. So, for the moment, one of the reasons that Hepliakal Kana is so strong is that it's one of very few gods who gives you a serious benefit at 0 stars of piety. Right? We get this ancestor. Now, you have to pay for it. You lose 10% of your HP. But it's still like, you get a whole other monster to tank for you with like 15 HP. That's like half of my HP, right? Plus it regenerates magically if it dies. Like, it's pretty good. Alright, so we got Robin's attention this time. Where are the stairs back up? Way over there. We're going to try to pull as few of them as we can. Okay, well, 1. That's as few as we could. And there's a bat somewhere. There it is. That was just, it's way too many goblins to take out all at once. We just don't have enough MP. Like, I mean, even if we had more MP, I'm not sure we could do damage quickly enough before they got to us. But since we don't have the MP, I don't even need to do that calculation. I know we would run out before they were all dead. You know, this looks like I probably explored enough of Dungeon 3, I think. So we'll just grab a staircase that looks relatively safe. There isn't really one, is there? Well, let's go over here, I guess. Buys us a little bit of breathing room from Terrence. He'll get to the stairs before we do, won't he? Alright, let's see if maybe this plus International can finish him off. That just about did it. Alright, we got him. Nice work. I don't know if that was mostly me or mostly International, but I'll take it. Go upstairs to rest before we come back down. How are you doing over there, International? Having a... Well, you did it. Poisoned? No. Ah, because it's sort of undead. Not undead, but non-living anyway. An ossuary. That was actually one of the ways my character in the tournament almost died. I went to an ossuary and, like, there were mummies. And I was like, I can handle a couple mummies, but no, I could not. I had a very tough time with one mummy, and then there were two bearing down on me, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. Well, this is too many things all at once, so let's leave. Oh yeah, and more orcs arriving. I've been constricted! No way! That's so rude. Huh. Well, I want to run away, but I'm not sure the right way to do that. I could try running up the stairs again, but as you can see, they can grab you even when you're on your way up the stairs. So even if I escaped his grasp and started heading upstairs, I think it could grab me again? I'm not sure. I don't think it could, actually. But in another turn or two, if I don't succeed in escaping this turn, right, I'm going to be surrounded by like 4 monsters, which means that even getting upstairs, I would be in pretty bad shape. So if I'm going to take for granted the notion that I can escape constriction, I might as well walk towards a hallway on this floor. I don't know about might as well. It would cut the monster count down a little bit to be able to get upstairs, I suppose. But I think that it's a bit optimistic, and I should aim to escape on this floor. So let's just walk away here. Alright, it worked. International is about to get murdered, I suspect. I think this may be a good time, in fact, for a potion of might. Those things are strong enough that even a conjurer can really do work in the early game. So I'll just back up like this. I went south instead of east because there were no monsters adjacent to this square, whereas there was one adjacent to this square. And back up one more time. And I will zap my Searing Ray first to use up my MP with, you know, getting some use out of it. Like it'll do, you know, a good job, right? It killed a couple guys, but now here we are, and there's like monsters left, and we don't really have enough MP to kill them, right? Maybe if we were very lucky, a single magic dart would kill the iguana, and then we could like run around pillar dancing the orcs. Actually, maybe we can just pillar dance now. We took care of the snake. So if we ran like this up to the stairs, how many of them would follow us? Probably too many, I think. So when I'm standing here, the enemies would be lined up like boop, boop, boop. And then I would step to here, and they'd like just sort of cut me off. So probably probably 2 of them would follow me upstairs. Which is a bit of a problem. I think it's probably fine to just quaff a potion of might here. We're not going to get a lot of use out of might later in the game. So let's take it now. Wow! Alright, well. Oh my god, there's a ball python. Well, I don't have much else to do here. Keep tabbing? It worked. Yeah, we're in bad shape though. Well, our highest damage output right now is Searing or Dazzling Spray. I could try to use that to kill the ball python. It worked. That was the highest amount of damage I could do in a single turn. And now having done that, I kind of wanted to pillar dance these guys a little bit more effectively. He's not fast, is he? He just got a lucky hit? Okay. Alright, I can't really keep this up. There's too many unknowns on this floor. I'm gonna have to get upstairs. And I think that means that I need to let this guy get another hit at me, and just hope that he doesn't actually land it. I could try like a dazzling spray or something if I had enough MP, but I don't. So we're gonna go upstairs, try not to die. Didn't die. Good. East was the safest direction, I think. All the uniques are over to the west. And having proven that this area is safe, I'm not going to venture further east. Oh, thank God you're here, International. You're my hero. How's this combat going? International is winning. Okay. Whew. Well, that was certainly eventful. You know, if International can eat some wand charges, we might be doing okay on that. Might be nice to empty Egypt out a little bit. No, we're gonna just... Egypt's gonna eat her alive, isn't he? Isn't she, I should say. So let's just run away. And try to prevent International from getting killed. It's certainly a lot easier for me if she doesn't have to despawn and then respawn. Very distant. All right, so let's get International back on the floor. Okay, good. We are working on conjuration or spellcasting. All right, so I'm not so sure about this ossuary. We spent a lot of time, although this stone wall looks promising. We spent a lot of time dealing with the welcoming party on this floor, so I don't know if we're going to make it to the ossuary in time. Ooh. That's appealing. But it would be nice. A distant avalanche of sand. Distant. I'm inclined to go north from here. I feel like it's up here. I like those stone walls that we found. Still distant. Well, yeah, that's not too surprising. The stone wall looks very promising. I don't know. Like, it doesn't... It's not necessarily the ossuary, but, like... That's the one interesting thing that we're certain is on this level, right? Is an ossuary. And there's a single stone area that we... Oh! That's brutal. I don't like that at all. Get out of here. Alright, he's dazzled. International, can you finish him, please? Do I have any wands? No. I can throw rocks at him. He's no longer blind. He killed International. Goodness gracious. That is a very nasty weapon he's got. We're going to go back upstairs, if at all possible here. But be on the lookout for enemies on the horizon. Yeah, okay. Looks like... Whew, that scared me. You know, it's nearby. It is up in here, but I don't think I'm going to get there. Boy, this orc is kitted out. Shiny scale mail as well. Man, I would really love to get his weapon, but it's more important to survive, and we can get the weapon later. Ugh, and it's Egypt. Yuck. And Robin up there? Yeah. Oh my god. Robin throws Egypt at you. Yeah. Oh my god, this is a nightmare. We are dead. Dazzling Spray can blind them? Also, a scroll could help. Blinking. I'll take it. Okay, well that was a lucky one indeed. We're not out of it yet. They easily could know where I am and be headed here. Yeah. Internationale is dead. Let's go back up to Dungeon 2. 3 is a very bad place, and 4 is not safe yet. Okay, okay. Let's settle down here. This is quite a game. Well, here we are on Dungeon 2, and it's been 40 minutes. So I think that having cleared 2 floors of the dungeon and given up on a third, we died once, we almost died like 3 more times. I think it's about time to end this video. And that's all there is to it. You know, I hope you guys enjoy this return to form after a lengthy hiatus, and I hope that it continues and that I don't get super bored and stop playing. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.